It's the 2nd of January. I know people have a lot of New Year's resolutions. Mine is I'm going to try to follow Jordan Peterson's 12 rules of life, and I'm going to dedicate 1 month to each of the rules. And I was looking through the rules and I figured out number 6 is the one I need the most, which is clean your room. Because there's so much chaos around me, and there have been for a long time. This is the cabin where I live in. There's some nosework project. I'm trying to fix a saw. We have firewood here, and it's just messy. The same goes for my house that I want to sell. The same goes for my locker at work. Where was the dog almost started fighting. So the same goes for my house in Bayern that I want to sell. The same goes for my van, and it raises the threshold for getting stuff done a lot, and you're kind of tired before you even start doing something. So I think it's going to be super important for me to get stuff straightened out, organized, and just get that threshold to get stuff done really low. So let's see how it works out this month. So I've actually been avoiding having cages indoors because I didn't think they liked it. I put up these cages and they just went in there and went to sleep. And you have no idea how much trouble it would save me if they are not laying around everywhere and being crazy when I'm outdoors, and stay in their cages instead. Anyhow, it's 7:45. It's 15 minutes more of work before I decided that's it for today, and I'm going to bed. So it's going to be an interesting month, and I can't wait to get like everything lined up and improve my life. Okay, second day of the clean your room rules. It's a little bit of fixing around the barn. So this is the office of the barn. Here's some auto parts for the Geländewagen the farmer has. I'm part of the mess as well, because this is where I've been painting the panels for my van, and I don't actually know if I'm going to use them or not. So maybe it was a waste of effort. This is the bathroom, shower room. They never managed to finish. That I will try to finish. And I was actually about to lose the courage to come down here today, because I spent all the day up to 5 o'clock doing all kinds of other different shit, chopping wood, doing some programming to move ahead on my app, and I was about to get lazy, and I'm like, I don't need to finish anything here today. I need to get started. That's it. So let me show you what I'm doing. So he is having some issues with the feeding machine. And we're also going to rebuild some panels in the back so we don't get all this waste hay. Because that is something we do every day. And it takes up so much time over the year, so it's better to fix it once. I'm not redoing anything of the electrical work. Let me assure you of that. I'm just taking the tubes and kind of fixating them better. I'm not disconnecting or connecting anything. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not an electrician. Then I can start to put up isolation. I wanted to do that in today, just to empty the van, and I was like, oh shit, I have to do all this and this and this. And then I'm like, well, if I have to drive the car back to Bodø and back with isolation in it, it's fine. It's a bonus if I can manage to get it out there. But what I need to do is just to vacuum this so it's decently clean, fasten the electrical work, and stuff steel wool in some holes so we don't get it full of mouse. And maybe tomorrow I will have the isolation here and I can empty the van. If I don't reach that point, I still moved ahead. So, as Jordan Peterson said, sit down for half an hour and look through the room and see what you want to improve and do that little. So that's what I'm gonna do until 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock I'm gonna finish because I want to have like a good circadian rhythm when I'm not pulling night shifts. And then I'm just gonna relax and do some enjoyable work like programming my app or editing a video. So I think it's my third day into the project and it's kind of becoming an obsession. I've been sitting with my computer for like 3 hours now just cleaning up bills, economy, everything, and I should have been out working, cleaning and doing other stuff, but I finally managed to drag my ass out to walk the dogs. This is where I live. It's beautiful surroundings here and it's definitely something I need to enjoy more. So, but when I get the other stuff fixed, so like my shoes are ready, my clothes are ready, I will actually check the weather forecast the day before so I know I have the proper equipment and clothes ready. I think the threshold for going outside will be reduced significantly. It's like when you wake up in chaos and you're like, holy shit, where am I gonna start today? The threshold getting stuff done is so high, you are like drained before you even start. But now, since I have done all the bills, I made a plan and everything, I'm like, just have this feeling of relief, and then I'm more enjoying this scenery because I know it's moving ahead and I just figure out what I'm gonna do to manage to have a passive income. I even looked into my pension, and that's something that's been worrying me, even though it's like 20 years ahead. And I was like, holy shit, my pension is actually really good. I worked a lot and I made monies. The problem is just my spending, not the income. But now that I'm really getting a good overview and like cleaning up that shit, I'm using ChatGPT to like, I eat almost the same shit for breakfast every day. Where can I buy that cheaper? Where can I buy it in bulk? And how much money do I need to set aside just for breakfast? So small steps cleaning up, and that's gonna make it possible for me to make more money in less time and spend it wiser just by cleaning up. So why haven't I done this before? Who knows? But again, it's moving the right direction. Now I'm gonna take care of my other investment, which is the dogs. Because if I'm gonna manage to make money on these guys, not selling them, but working with them, I need to get my shit in order so I have a good regime for training and actually reach our training goals. So that was my rampage for today, but I think it was kind of a positive one. So let's see where this moves. Tonight I have the night shift. Gonna do some more paperwork at work, punch out some invoices and stuff like that. Oh, it's really moving the right way. I hope 2026 is gonna be a really good year with the lead of Jordan Peterson and his 12 rules of life. So also here in the barn we are doing the clean new room project, because there is a ton of stuff that is just done halfway. What I'm doing now is I'm putting isolation over the farm office. I won't go into detail why this was left halfway through the job. But anyway, I was surfing like a Facebook giveaway page, and all this isolation we actually got for free. And I think I spent like 2 hours on just putting out the isolation I have so far, and also do a rough cleaning before I lay down the isolation. The thing is that I was about to postpone this until next time I have time off from work, because then I had 6 days. But Roger called me, the farmer, and said like, "Oh, are you coming down today?" He wouldn't force me to do this, but it was like kind of a question, get your ass down here, we need to get some shit done. So I did, and now I feel great. Instead of having to think about this the 2 next days, I'm a couple of steps further down the road to get things done. We got to do a calculation of what materials I need to buy when I'm in the city anyway, so we don't have to take a extra trip to buy materials. It's like, I think this is what it's all about. Just take a look around your surrounding, and it's like, is there anything I can fix today? And I can guarantee you there's always something. Because I've been in this boat for a long time, it's like postponing. When this is fixed, I'm gonna fix that. Always finding an excuse not to do stuff today or postponing. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Just get shit done. Even the sheeps are happy. So I'm at work, and I was thinking, is there something I can do? And it was. So I've been shuffling snow in front of all the gates and the doors. And now I'm gonna take in front of the bins. So it's kind of interesting to see there's always something to do. There's always something to improve. And I think one of the points is like being ahead of stuff.
Ja, spisa. Spisa.
So back at work, we haven't had any dispatches for an hour or so. So I try to get stuff done here as well. Whatever can help me being more organized. So since I'm training Feynman for ID searches, I match the sample jars with the nosework boxes that goes in the platform and so on. It's gonna make the training more safe, that I actually reward the right ID smell, and also it's gonna make it super more efficient. And it kind of took me 15 minutes to do that, since I already have the engraving machine. I mean, it's just tiny small stuff that improve the things you do a lot. Would it be worth all the effort if I only did it 1 or 2 times? No. But I'm gonna do this a lot, so it makes sense to put effort into it. Now, let's hope we don't have any more dispatches for tonight. Take care. Okay, so I'm back at the cabin. As you probably can see, we didn't have too much sleep this night, but that's fine. I know it doesn't look like I'm cleaning up, but I actually am. Here are some stuff I need to sort out. It's some Google speakers and stuff. I'm not going to use that, so I just need to sell it and accept I will lose money on it compared to what I paid. And then you can say I'm in a time where I'm trying to save money, and still I buy this. It's the Milwaukee Packout, but I definitely think it's worth it. It's high quality, so hopefully it's not going to fall apart when it's cold and when it gets like banged around. And also I think it's going to be a system that I can install in the car. It's a pretty good ecosystem. So I was like back and forth if I should do it, but having my tools fairly well organized like this, I think it's going to be a huge advantage to get stuff done and create value. Because isn't that what it's all about? It's about investing so you can create value, not wasting money just to feel pleasure. I do feel pleasure when I have things organized like this and I can work efficiently. That's my short update for today. Now I'm gonna figure out how to use these boxes. And they are not too expensive and they seem to be really high quality. So I think I'm gonna build a lot of the organization in the car around these boxes. For example, I could have one with start jumper cables. Maybe if there's a bigger one, could have my chains. Yeah, and then it's all in the same ecosystem. I'll have to speculate on that, but so far, even though I haven't like really used it, I'm really pleased with this Milwaukee pack-out system. And anyway, into the first week of living by the rules, clean your room. I definitely feel a relief every time I get something done and organized, and like when I have it in such a way, I'm like, oh, I can't wait until I can use that stuff. Instead of having like this, oh shit, where is it? It's going to be to do that activity. It's going to be so stressful because I need to prepare everything. So well worth it. Definitely worth it. It's 12th of January, so almost like half the way into the month. I'm trying to do a little bit every day, but I ended up going to work for 2 night shifts. That wasn't planned, so that kind of derails a little bit what I'm doing now. We have been fixing up some small stuff. It's been so cold I had to sleep on the couch because this is the only room that is heated. I bought one of these boxes so I can stuff away all the utilities that I'm gonna have in my van. And it's safe to put this box up on the loft because it's an old cabin. There will always be mice and some stuff. So I'd rather have it in a sealed plastic box than just a cardboard box. So that's good. This system from Milwaukee, the pack out, it's definitely what I'm going for. It's such a great system. I guess I've showed you this before. The bits organizer, yeah, I just love this because it means I can kind of buy more of these and I can organize them to what work I am doing. And since I'm going for this inside the van, I will actually buy this stuff for my camera gear and all that. So is that an overkill? Yeah. But it's waterproof, it's rigid, which means when I go camping, it's really easy just to attach this. Yeah. So definitely investing more than this, even though it's overkill. The cabin, we're getting away more and more boxes, which are great. This area looks really shitty and messy. So this is where I need to put my focus the next days. I need to start to have like a big pan here where I can heat water and wash as I go, because that have been one of my issues here. At the current time there's no water in the cabin, so I don't have heated water, which makes fat and stuff like that difficult to wash away. And instead of waiting for that to get fixed, which is just another thing we have to do at the farm, I'm gonna have a heated bowl there so I can just heat water so it's warm enough for washing. So I kind of get that out of the way. We are definitely moving small steps ahead, which I think is great. I fixed this bar. It's kind of a reversible fix. I can put acrylic into those holes, so I think the farmer would be okay. Bought some clothes hangers. So instead of wet clothes laying around for a while before they get dry, I can just have a routine that I will put washed clothes and wet clothes, whatever, up here, get them dry as soon as possible. Because part of this project, cleaning up my room, is also cleaning up my economy. And I can't overuse power here because that's going to cost the farmer too much. So I'm also trying just to reduce every cost I have by having my stuff organized, so I don't need to throw food, so I have food available instead of going to the gas station. All those are things that comes in the draft of having your stuff in order. So I think I have reduced my food budget by at least a half. Like yesterday, I made dinner for 10 kroners instead of going to the gas station and buying a burger for 280. So that's like a saving of 280% almost. So that's a huge saving just by like fixing my own food. Having a lunchbox just available. So if I don't know what I'm doing, I'll just make some sandwiches and have them ready. Then I don't go to the gas station and buy unhealthy bakery that you don't think that much of as an expense, because it's like this balls I'm buying is only 60 kroner. But when you do that 3 times a week, that's 120 kroner. Just ridiculous. But yeah, my project is definitely still looks chaotic here, but I hope the next 2 days before I have to go back to work, a lot of this will look way nicer, and we managed to move some season-based equipment up on the loft. That would be great. So I don't know if it's the right priority or not, but I'm gonna try to fix my Bosch circular saw because I need that to do some electrical work. It's just so much that is tied up to other things. And the deal is I've already changed the motor and soldered on new wires and stuff. But after putting it together, these parts were leftovers. So I just need to figure out where that is going, and I think that's repaired. The reason I'm doing that detour is because it's been on the table. And if I can, instead of just putting it away as a project I have to fish up later, it's actually done. And I can actually put it away and be happy with it. Yeah, it's just so much. And I don't know where to start because it's been chaotic for so long. I mean, we're talking years. But as long as it's like a tiny bit better when you go to bed than it was when you woke up, I think you should be happy because it's moving along. So I had made a stupid mistake. I didn't put in this piece. So I had to like take apart the covers for the engines, and now I need to pull out the engine and get this axle brake or axle lock, I think, in place and put it together again. If I had everything arranged from the beginning, I would just have taken pictures and filmed and put that up on my computer when putting it together again, and I will actually save time. So that's the point I need to get to, where I actually have time enough to fix things properly, or so they don't keep biting me in the ass all the time. And I definitely need to get stuff out of the way so I don't have all these 100 projects lined up and none of them are finished. So that's the truth about my messy life. And as you can see, I don't know the last time I had a full night's sleep because I've been working so much on the ambulance. Okay, so maybe not the best filming, but yeah. Oh, it took definitely a bit longer than I expected, but I didn't give up and it's done. But let me tell you the reason for this trouble in the first place. I have some other batteries for newer tools, and they are 12 volts. These new tools are just 10.8, as you can see, and I think that's the reason why I burned the engine in the first place. I need to get my shit in order, and I need to have time to organize and use my equipment the proper way, because I'm just doing damage repair, and that's no way to build a future. Now I will start organizing rest of the shit. I have like 1 hour before I will go to bed, so I will not finish this today, but I will start and I will wake up tomorrow and feel better. So take care. So I've actually been avoiding having cages indoors because I didn't think they liked it. I put up these cages and they just went in there and went to sleep. And you have no idea how much trouble it would save me if they are not laying around everywhere and being crazy when I'm outdoors, and stay in their cages instead. Anyhow, it's 7:45. It's 15 minutes more of work before I decided that's it for today and I'm going to bed. But it's going to be an interesting month and I can't wait to get like everything lined up and yeah, improve. It's not completely out of the picture that I might have ADHD, but maybe high functioning in some ways. Anyhow, I think I woke up 4:30 today, just started doing some stuff. And one of the issues is my panels for the van that I've been painting didn't dry because the climate is not right now and I might have too much thinner in the paint, so well, that's life. Anyhow, I know it doesn't look like much, but one thing I managed to fix was my Google Chromecast, which is actually a huge relief because it means I can just sit in the sofa that I need to clean up and watch TV like a normal person, not on the phone or the laptop. And that is one less thing I have to drag around, which means I get to do more stuff. I have these pouches. I'm thinking about how I'm going to organize my different cables. So like maybe I have one for the dog tracker, so when I pull this up, I know I have for the dog tracking, charging. Yeah, this is for my earmuffs. This is what's going down to the barn for cleaning. That's my cookers. And the utilities for the car and the cookers will go in this box and be put up on the loft. So I will only pull it down when it's ready to go at its final place in the van. Again, looks super messy, but it's actually work in progress. Can anyone relate to this, where you have like 2 boxes full of cables that you're always looking for? I'm also doing some technical projects. That's why I have this salad. This is also what needs to go in different pouches. The only thing I end up now is like tripping in these wires. That becomes extra work and so on. But yeah, the project is really moving along well and I'm just getting more and more motivated to get stuff out of the way and especially organize stuff that I do a lot so it becomes less work. Because if you can save 5 minutes every day, that is actually a lot of time. So just think about that. If it's something you can do today which makes you save 5 minutes every day, that's so worth it, and that's something you can use to create value in your life. So I'm going to the city today for the Advanced Medical Life Support course. And I was in kind of an inner conflict with myself because I didn't think Roger had time yesterday to clean the road. So I was anticipating that I would have to put on snow chains to get through all this. Because I have been stuck with my van earlier this week. Du, vi skal ut. As usual, I'm not as prepared as I want to be. But something important dawned on me because I get like super into it when I first start, and I thought yesterday I would have the firewood done, would have done more cleaning inside, but like at 9 o'clock I fell asleep. That's why I don't even notice that he was using the tractor to clean the road, and I need to take care of myself as well so I don't fall apart. But I also need to turn down the expectations I have for myself when I'm going somewhere, because I wanted to bring my nice jacket and some other stuff and maybe take the food with me so I don't waste money on food. Well, if I'm moving the stuff back and forth all the time, I'm just gonna create chaos. Okay, so during this transition phase where I get stuff up and going and get a good system, I will just have to accept that maybe I will have to wear work clothes for a couple of days, even though I'm in the city or whatever. Because I can't create more chaos and work so I never get ahead. Sorry, that was really poor choice of words, but that's the best I came up with. I just have now. I just need to get going so I can reach the ferry. I managed to get on the ferry at time, so that's good. The boys are here. But this is not how I want to have it. I want to have it like so I'm here super early. I can just walk through this door and make myself a coffee. Yeah, kind of be ahead. Also, I had to step a little bit on the gas. Not breaking the speed limits, but I'm wasting fuel by driving more offensively. So I think it's also a huge part of the Clean Your Room project is to have control of your resources. Resources are more than just money. And if you can kind of administer them well, they will last longer than when everything is like, when everything is like the last minute decisions or usage. I hope that made sense. So this whole thing is definitely moving the right way, and yeah, I can't wait to see what the rest of the month bring. Another routine in cleaning up your life or room, like when I don't have stuff in order, I would typically take my chances on driving in like this, just using speed and momentum. Now I have the snow chains available, I have the good gloves to put the snow chains on available, which means the threshold to putting on the snow chains is less, and then I'm more down to a calculated risk. I even like prodded out where it's deep, so I know that if I just go ahead and have some speed, there will be less snow over there. So like, it's still a little bit of a chance that I will get stuck, but at least I've minimized the risk with the tools I have available, and also it's more calculated than just crossing my fingers and hoping everything will work out, and then I end up in a mess that takes even more time to get out of than it would have been to prepare. So it's just those small things, and I was kind of mentally prepared before I drove here. And yeah, what can I say? Just continue to clean up stuff and do the small things you can do today. And you will have challenges in your life, but you might feel more prepared. And then you feel like you are a master of something instead of a victim of coincidences. So let's see how this works out. So it happened what I feared. We did actually get stuck. I think this is the worst kind of snow. But yeah. I don't think it's too far down to the sole. So it won't take me too long just to dig through this, because I only need to go reach around there, I guess. And yeah, now that I'm prepared for it, it's not such a big deal. So let's just get on with it. So I'm stuck as hell, as you can see. So it's gonna take at least a good hour to dig myself out of that, and my shoulder is starting to hurt, so I need to take it little by little. My plan was to carry all this out into the garage, but I reckon I'm actually gonna just leave it in the car because it's heavy as hell. I can use this board, and Roger is taking one of these, I'm taking the other, and that's actually something I can manage to do inside the van. And yeah, it's behind the house where my garage is, so it's okay to not having to carry that in knee-deep snow. Now we're just gonna go inside and pick up some stuff, because I need to empty the house, and these guys are tired. I think that's why they were fighting. But that's life, okay? That's life. So let's go and see. Doesn't actually look too bad, but I think just here in the start of the driveway, the snow is a little bit harder, so it's the axles and shields have actually been held up by this, so the wheels didn't get enough traction. But we managed. I think I found the reason why they were fighting a little bit. They are super tired. So that's something I need to take into consideration. That I see when they are this tired, I give them personal space, put them in the cage. There you can actually see the differential. It's been dragging. Yeah, it could have been worse if it was stones who'd broken the car. So he was sleeping, and then he figured out we left him. We're gonna dig him out. So now I just need to dig out this door, also so there is not water standing on the wall when the snow starts melting, and I can start to carry out the stuff I want to take with me this time. Well, it's still pretty messy here. It's Sunday, and I were supposed to have night shifts this weekend, but we had an unfortunate event, and I broke my phalang of my finger, so I'm on sick leave for at least a week. Even though it sucks, it gives me some time off so I can clean up this mess here. So today I'm just gonna start sorting out boxes here and kind of trying to categorize stuff. So what I have here is like my fuel canisters. I set aside one box to just dog equipment. I have no idea how to index. Still trying to dry up these panels so they can go back out in the van. The computer I want to move over there because I got a desk, which means I can start to just sit there and only eat breakfast and not have a huge mess. And I think that will help my head. Like when I sit at this table, it's for eating. When I sit there, it's for working. When I sit in the couch, it's for relaxation and watch TV. It might sound stupid, but for me, it's like if there's something in front of me that can draw my attention, I easily get distracted. So I think it's important for me to clean my head that these zones in this small cabin are really strict. So another thing I need to do is like on the bed, the phone goes on charge under the bed, and I only read. Then I can get through one book and get better sleep. I will wake up earlier, I'll get more done. So, small steps. Still messy, and the boys are really impatient with me. They want to do some training. Anyhow, we managed to move the computer away from this area over here, and it actually works, which is great. And also I think it's going to be a nice addition just to be able to look out the window and get my thoughts away from the screen, which might be an additional good bonus. Also, I made some thoughts. Now I can actually start stacking some of the gear I'm not using very often under here in these plastic boxes. Also, while like gradual cleaning, I came up with the idea that I can take some of these plastic boxes with equipment I don't use that often and stack them under here. So small steps, and I think it's going to be a really rewarding day to just get stuff away. I could have connected my computer to the Anker Solix, but the power here is really stable. So the times we do get short outs, I can live with it. And I can, if there is longer short outs, I just go and get my Anker Solix, because that is going in my van. And my other plan is to take all the stuff that I'm planning to take with me next weekend and install it in the van. I'm just going to put over in this area. And that gives me a bit more of mental capacity for what I'm going to do that weekend, because it's not going to be like the day before or the hours before departure that I'm like, holy shit, where is all my stuff? I'm gonna take out the fan and like look at the screws, count that I have the right amount of screws, trying to be ahead of the operation. So I know, okay, I take out this box, that's everything I need for this fan and this install, and so and so. And then I think it's gonna be so much easier to get that job done, at least like the mental threshold. Well, I was worried I would be bored with my broken finger when I have to kind of limit my activities, but not at all. Also, I thought I would get more done. Still, there are mess, but the stuff I am moving is kind of moving to its final destination, so it's not like putting the dirt under the rug. The result of my eagerness to sort out things have been a neglect towards these boys. They only had 2 trips out today and they are used to a lot more. Are you ready to go out? Yeah. But that goes back to keeping stuff in order. When I wanted to go outside, the collars were not charged. So then I have to set aside time to charge them, and that takes like a half an hour before we can walk out, and I lose my routine. But what I have done, it's not beautiful, and I have to come up with something else later when we get visitors to the cabin. But I kind of put up a charging station here. So my Anker Solix and the battery for the Anker Everfrost is in here with laminating machine and stuff. Hopefully this will put me in the mode that when the day is over, I will put in everything that needs to be charged for the next day. Will be lined up here and ready. So it makes it easier for me just to take that step and go outside, take my morning walk, because I should do that before I take a coffee in the morning. Then it's done. I know the boys are at peace, and I can sit down with my computer without having bad conscience because the dogs are like rambling around because they're eager to get outside. And this is why I'm cleaning my room, not for the room's sake, but because I want a low threshold so I can follow my heart and do the stuff I want to do. I think Richard Feynman said something along the line, don't think about what you want to be, think about what you like to do, and do as much of the things you have to do so they don't inhibit you from doing the stuff you want to do. And I think that's a mantra I really have to take to my heart and continue to follow up. Also, I read a meme about a farmer that was hiring a farmhand, and when he was interviewing him, the farmhand said he could sleep through the storm. The farmer didn't understand what that meant, but he liked the guy, so he hired him. The meaning of it was when the storm was arising, the farmhand had already been outside putting all the tools in the shed, the animals were in the barn and they were fed, the locks were on, so it was safe. And that's where I want to come in my life, where I can sleep through the storm. I want to have challenges. I want hardship sometimes. But I want it on my premises and I want to be prepared. That's what mastery is like, I think. There's a positive change of plans for once. I will actually go to Fauske tomorrow to put my car in a heated garage so it can dry up. The downside is I will have to clear out this mess today, so it will be a bit... The downside is I have to clean the car out today and organize all the tools we're gonna need for this operation, because we are installing the Max fans, 2 of them, and start with the isolation. Also put up some extruded aluminium rails here on the side, hopefully. But I have to stress a little bit by getting all the shit out, which is what I'm trying to avoid. But it's gonna be so awesome to get started finally on some of the big projects on the car. So how do you think the Clean Your Room project is going? I know it still looks chaotic, but I'm getting more and more stuffed away in boxes, and I also kind of build a mental model on how I'm going to sort it and what equipment I'm going to need when, so I don't end up with like moving boxes around and then, yeah, you know. But of course, having chaos in your life also creates chaotic economy, and this bill is for like 1600 euros. It was a insurance claim that I thought was paid directly to the veterinarian's office, but it wasn't. But instead of just shoving it away, I'm going to send them an email and ask for a deal where I pay some monthly payments, so at least it's not accumulating into more. But then you get other pleasant surprise when you actually open your mail. I had a loan that I actually forgot that I paid in full when I had money, so that's closed. But I definitely think I will have less and less of these surprises when I get stuff cleaned up. Because I've been like getting my mail when I was back in Bayarn, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna deal with that later. And then I actually forget that I put it in some box in my dashboard or whatever, and it accumulates to where I get, I don't know what you call it in English, but I send it to a credit company and they take additional fees to the claim, and it's just so stupid. So part of cleaning my room is getting an economical buffer. So since I'm not very organized and I'm not very good at sitting down, it's like, oh, today I'm going to pay my bills, today I'm going to do the economy. I want to build a buffer, so when I get a bill, I have money there, I just pay it. And then I get this dopamine reward that, shit, there's no claims in my internet bank. And the money I have there, I can spend. And what happens then is that I'm like, oh, it feels good to have these positive numbers. And I do actually set aside money to invest in stocks. So just another point on how important it is to clean your room, to get a clear mind, and you can manage to look forward and make good investments, not only in money, but friends, fix stuff, and you get a better future because you sacrifice something today. That is not really important anyway. When I don't buy a hamburger, when I don't spend money on something that is short term, I get this like warm and fuzzy feeling that I'm building a future. I hope that made sense. Take care. So let's see what date it is. It's actually 25th of January. It's 5 more days of this project. How is it going? Not too bad. I got fixed some firewood today. It's all about being able to sleep through the storm. Do those things that takes a lot of energy every day and do it once. I'm not finished with chopping wood anyway, but I'm more ahead than I used to. Still a little bit chaotic here, because I've been away for 3 days fixing my van. So even though it looks more chaotic, even though it still looks chaotic, it is moving forward. There's less boxes. I have my zones. I eat there. I do office work there. I had to sleep here because it's been so cold. Now I will actually accept the cold tonight, because I need to clean up this so it will burn better. And then I will not use so much time getting a proper fire there later. So don't completely judge people on how it looks on the outside. See what they are actually improving, because that's the true measurement of their productivity. So let's see what we can get done tomorrow. Have some really tiny car projects, and I need to go to the city and buy some stuff. So take care. Okay, I realize there is one super important thing for me for this Clean Your Room project, and that is, it was cold, so I had to sleep on the couch, and I didn't sleep very well, so I didn't wake up before 10:30. It was super cold there because I needed to let everything burn out in the oven, in the stove, so I could clean it out. Now I've done that. Of course, when I opened the door, there was like 2 dogs coming in visiting, and they tore this over. And even worse, my day was already late. Yesterday, I was in a bit of a hurry moving the van, so I didn't turn the key all the way back and pulled it out as I usually do. And of course, it was completely out of juice. And it's a big battery, so now I might need to wait for an hour before I can get going. I couldn't find my own charger, so I had to go and get Roger's, the farmer's charger. These are just so stupid things, because I have an outlet on my van. The charger could be connected in the van. I have a setup for it. I could check the temperature last night and see, oh, I should put on the charger and be ready. So what I will do, I will see if I can reach the city for the things I need to do. If not, I don't know if I'm gonna stay on the island for today or not. But I need to force myself up at 6. That's it. No more excuses for, oh, I can wait a little bit because it was late yesterday. If I haven't been on night shifts or any other special circumstances, I need to wake up at 6 and get the day started, because I'm most productive at that time. I know this from studies. I would wake up even at 4 or 5, walk my dog, and study a little bit before I went to the university, walk my dog when I came home from the university. I was super productive. I need to get back to that set routine. So one important thing with that is to have everything ready the day before. So you wake up, you see your clothes you're going to use that day. It lowers the threshold for getting started immensely. So that's what I'm going to focus on for the rest of this month and this project. I will not reach all my goals, but I'm on my way. I really didn't want to film because this is turning out to be a shit day. But this is the make and break. The boys are fucking crazy. Can't find my wallet. Okay, that means we are going. So, should be heated quite fast. But yeah, okay, I can still pay from my phone. So he is climbing under the car, and that's dangerous. So I need to get a stop on that. I know it sounds angry, but that's life. Anyway, I can't go on like this. I don't have my neck here, isolating neck. I don't have my wallet. Luckily the car is started, so I hope I can reach the ferry. Now I just need to get going. So of course I was 2 minutes late for the ferry as well. I need to avoid these days, most definitely. I have to get into this routine, like I said, being prepared the day in advance. And even though I should edit a YouTube video or should check something I want to buy for the van, I need to get a priority for my tasks. So, because I have a tendency, oh, if I just can manage to edit this thing and this thing, it's gonna make the YouTube channel great. The YouTube channel is not gonna be anything if I can't clean up my routine and get other stuff done, because as I said previously in this video, I'm only doing damage control. Not only damage control, I moved some things ahead, but it's a lot of damage control, like today. And but one thing that is good is that I am looking ahead. I am being positive at the future, so I'm not like, oh, this day went to shit anyway, so I'm just gonna sit in the couch and wait until tomorrow. I have days like that. I have had days like that. So I'm out there, I'm doing stuff. And I think it's gonna be okay. I didn't believe I would reach perfection this month. I wanted to... Actually, I didn't set any clear goals, and maybe I was aiming too high. Because what I had during December was that I would talk to ChatGPT and I would put up 5 tasks every day. One of them was the dogs, then it was something cleaning, then it was economy, then it was something with the van, and the last one was my own health. So I had those 5 tasks every day. And then I would actually do that. So instead of getting overwhelmed by thinking I'm gonna reach too much, I would just do that task and be happy. Anything else was a bonus. And that makes a huge impact on how you feel about your achievement or productivity. So I'm definitely gonna go back to that list. Also, I had, maybe it was 6 tasks, I don't remember, I think it was 5. One of them was social media, and then I was happy if I just edited something or I posted one short, or yeah, just a tiny thing, and then I was happy. I think what happened when I wanted to film this video and what I'm doing with the van, I get so obsessed with the filming, the camera, editing, learning new skills, that I actually don't prioritize the really important things, that is to live and have order around you so you can live. Yeah. Enough rambling. We should have ups and downs in life, and even though I didn't get all the way where I wanted, it still has been really interesting and it have moved things ahead. So the cleaning will be one task a day for the rest of the year. So again, it might seem like there is no progress in the cleaning, but important thing, it's 11 o'clock. We're not going to work longer. We are going to go to bed. And sorry, I only have one good hand. And as part of cleaning up the room, I'm going to start making extra sure that the stuff we need for the next day is always prepared. These are the GPS collars for the dogs. Remember, they run loose a lot here at the farm because we are quite rural. GPS that needs to be charged. Because for me, it buys me peace to have them on the GPS, because I can also call them in on the GPS. Yeah, we're gonna get a cover for the couches. I'm just waiting for money so I can order that. That's quite expensive. We have put in firewood here for, I would say, 3 or 4 days. Since it's quite freshly cut, it's not completely dried. So I bought some of these bricks that helps me kind of start a fire. And that buys me time in the morning, so I don't need to be here and care for the fire and make sure it starts going. I can just stuff in the firewood and go outside with the dogs. That helps me get a routine. Wake up, it's here. I start a fire and I will take the dogs outside. Then I come in, then I take a cup of coffee, and it starts to get warm here. Helps me to keep my routine. That's a short update about this project. A lot of things are not going as planned, but from day to day it's getting better. I've cleaned out and cleaned the refrigerator, so I know this is the food I have until Friday. It's not much. Okay, then I drink water. And then I eat what I have, instead of like a lot of food just piling up and I need to throw it anyway. Because if I can work less because I save money, I get more shit done. Also, I'm trying to get rid of this really getting hooked on things. So I'm just editing videos. This is about fan installation. I'm doing it slowly instead of having expectations that I will get to this point tonight, because then I will be up until 1 or 2 o'clock. I wake up late and I don't get a proper start for the day. So now I'm more like, I'm gonna spend 45 minutes in front of the computer. And I don't rush. I don't try to put everything in like one bin and see if it can sync, and then I end up with just like a messed up structure and it bites me in the ass down the road, and I actually have to spend more time on getting it structured. And I have ChatGPT here. Whenever I have a problem, I take a screenshot, ask ChatGPT, and I don't move on before I have a proper solution to the problem. Hence, I get less frustrated and I actually learn more. Because if you sit with something for like 3 hours straight and you're just becoming manic, it's not a good point for learning. So even though it might take an extra week to publish this video, I have learned more than I would if I was stressing, and that will save me time and effort down the road. So yeah, not all change is going to be physical in this process, and we're definitely moving there. Because of my finger, I got a 90% sick leave, so I will actually have the possibility to superstructure my daily routine the next day, because I don't have to go on night shifts and wake up at night, never know how tired I am going to be the next day. I will have to get back to that lifestyle again, but at least until I get stuff more structured, I can also structure my days. And we're gonna tick off some good projects here at the farm. Tomorrow we're gonna finish the roof over the office. My broken finger crossed. We produced 2 sacks of firewood during the last days, and we got the firewood cutting machine fine-tuned. I'm learning the machine, so I produce faster. I also got an introduction to the tractor, so I can move these sacks like this. So I can move stuff on my own without having to wait for Roger and ask Roger, and he has to break off whatever he is doing. So that gives us flow. And also when my days are structured, he knows when we need both to work on a problem or project, and when I can just solve things on my own. So it helps everybody to get this structured. This is a long video, but as far as I understand, that's what YouTube wants these days. And yeah, let's see. I think it's 4 days left of this month. We can get a ton of things done in 4 days. But don't put expectations too high, because then you get disappointed. And even though you got a lot of things done, you don't feel that good because you didn't reach your goals. So have the right ambitions, and your vision should be between the stars and your tip of your toes. Keep an eye at the horizon. Good night. Take care. So how is the project coming together? I don't even know what date it is today. But you learn that everything is a process. And this is me trying to edit the fan installation video, and there is so many things that went wrong. The microphones are not picked up by the camera. I seem to have lost a whole day of filming by a corrupt SD card. But the difference now from earlier is that I don't stress. I'm not sitting there hours and hours on end being frustrated, pulling my hair out. I decide, okay, in the morning I'm going to take 1 cup of coffee and drink in front of the computer and see what I can sort out. And it takes the time it takes before I go to the next step. So I've been using ChatGPT to help me set up the user interface. That almost took that cup of coffee, and I just managed to add a couple of clips later. Then I discovered a whole day of filming is almost gone. And I'm like, okay. Then I need to shorten down the rest of the filming we have and maybe make a voiceover. Is that a bad thing? No. I'm not making videos that good that people are watching hours on end. So maybe that's a good thing. Also, I need to get a good voiceover setup. So these problems are an excuse to do something differently. I don't know if it was Seneca or Marcus Aurelius who said or if it was Epictetus, doesn't matter, one of the old Stoics, said we don't choose what we get, we choose how we handle it, or something along those lines. And that's what we need to do, or else we get frustrated, we give up, or we just do something half-assed. But we can always learn something. We can always make something out of it. For the continuation of the cleaning, no, it doesn't look like much. Oh, bad boy, are you on the couch? But I'm preparing for an avalanche training weekend, and instead of doing it the day before, I have actually started lining up the equipment. I'm gonna test pack everything in my backpack. So this is actually part of creating a system. And as a change from earlier, I'm not gonna have a lot of different backpacks. This is great for summertime. It's waterproof, it's durable, but it's shit to carry. So for my ATV in summer, okay. But for the rest of this winter, I'm gonna use this backpack for every day trip, for every training, so I know exactly where the equipment are, and as soon as I get in by night, I will dry out and prepare the backpack for the next day. Like charging battery banks, loading up food, whatever. Because I think I talked about it a lot already, like lowering the threshold for getting stuff done. When you don't know where you have your tools, where you don't know what you're bringing, the threshold is here and you're tired before you even start. So even though all these boxes and stuff is here, every day something is getting stowed away or organized. And the threshold for doing this is getting lower and lower and lower. So hence, the goal of this month is actually reached. But the process needs to continue, and maybe I can dial it down as we get more and more organized and getting more and more stuff out of the way. 1st of February, clean your room month is over. As I said, I think 100 times before, it's gonna be a work in progress. I think I misunderstood Jordan Peterson a little bit, because it says put your house in perfect order before you criticize others. And I don't know if I just heard him say clean your room and kind of expected that was the 6th rule. Anyhow, the chapter in the book is quite dark. It starts with school shootings and a Russian philosopher that was at the Eastern Front and later was mistreated by communism and so and so. But by cleaning up and getting shit in order, I feel I can be a better version of myself. So it's not completely off the rails when it comes to this 6th rule, put your house in perfect order. Because what also happens is that I kind of arranged my gear. So now I've been putting up remote cameras to see if we can document bobcats here. I had a great trip with my dogs and used my snowshoes for the first time in 2 years. Just because it's easily available and it's not like a 2-hour ordeal to find the equipment and get outside. So that lowers the threshold of doing the things that are good for me. And by having low threshold for doing the things that is good for me, I do follow one of the things that is said in that chapter. That is, stop doing what's bad for you. And this is something I will come back to. It's von Kaplan's upward spiral theory of behavioral changes that you can see some pictures of, that you can see some AI generated pictures of in the intro. And I think now I will start with rule 1. That is something, stand up straight with your shoulders back or something. Like push your chest forward and be proud, as far as I understand. And I think big part of that is getting back in shape. And I hate training. I absolutely hate training. So I need to do a lot of physical work. But I do feel proud of physical work, so it should help me to stand up straight. Anyhow, it's been a rewarding month. Did not achieve Farley as much as I hoped or expected, but it moved a huge way forward, and I'm so glad I took on this project. So take care and follow us into February with more rules of Jordan Peterson. Take care.